Witi. Now, the National Super Alliance presidential candidate Raila Odinga is dismissing reports by the IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati that the electoral body has met some of the irreducible minimum demands made by the NASA coalition. According to Raila, none of their demands have been met so far. This comes as the United Nations warns Jubilee and NASA politicians that boycotting the October 26 poll could easily ruin the country. Chris Sairo begins our broadcast tonight.
Hey, come on. A day after consultative meeting between NASA principals and the electoral body IEBC, and which the commission termed as successful, NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga has come out to dispel the reports stating that nothing has so far been achieved by IEBC and that their confidence remains at zero level.
IEBC has failed spectacularly on the 8th. That is not in doubt. Should we then be vouching for the IEBC or demanding value for money audit? We have agreed here that we must continue championing a fair and just cause aimed only at defending our constitution and strengthening our hard-won democracy.
According to Raila, NASA will not participate in the fresh presidential elections if there will be no changes at the IEBC, including the exit of the Commission CEO Ezra Chiloba and 11 other officials, the opening of the IEBC servers, as well as the presidential ballot papers being printed by a different printing firm and not Al Ghurair.
But the same Jubilee is standing with the people like Ezra Chiloba and the IEBC that committed irregularities and illegalities in the elections. This trend has to stop, but it will not stop on its own. We must stop it.
However, Raila's sentiments come amid a caution from the United Nations against any politician boycotting the 26th October elections. In a statement to newsrooms, the United Nations states that such a move will drain the country. Further, they want politicians to respect the independence of constitutional mandated institutions, especially the judiciary and the IEBC. The United Nations also urges all parties to recommit themselves to dialogue and seek consensus based on solutions of their differences.
Those protests shall therefore continue across the country every Monday and Friday in accordance with the law. It is self-evident that the police have been systematically and consistently trigger-happy against unarmed, peaceful NASA supporters and have unleashed brutal force against innocent civilians, including young university students.
The UN sentiments were shared by the National Council of Churches of Kenya, which asked both presidential candidates to be prepared for the repeat of the presidential polls and restrain their supporters from violence.
Failure to hold the fresh presidential elections within the timeline set by the Constitution in line with the Supreme Court ruling will take this country into a scenario fraught with danger and uncertainty.
NCCK also wants Jubilee Party to withdraw the Elections Amendment Bill 2017 for the sake of unity in the country, arguing that such amendments can be debated and adopted after the repeat elections.
The current disproportionate anxiety of Kenyans has been fueled by hardline political positions held by both NASA and Jubilee Party, more so because of these underlying contradictions than because of genuinely material obstacles to the fresh presidential election.
The NASA presidential candidate was meeting leaders from the Abagusi region as they promised to support his presidential bid. President Uhuru Kenyatta is scheduled to take his Jubilee Party campaigns to Kisiland tomorrow. Chris Sairo, KTN News.